If you know the song, you know the point I'm going to get to. We're all geniuses after the fact, right? Awesome, right? We're going to hear a lot of coulda, told yous, woulda, shouldas, told you this was going to happen. Always after a sell-off, right? Now, again, this video, again, I don't know if the audio is going to hold up or not, but let me stop it here to see if it's working. Well, anyway, the song in the background, and I hope this continues to work. I'm using the other computer. Normally we're filming over there. You see the screens in the back. Oh, by the way, the bullhorn, I'm not going to use it. It's just hiding the huge erection that I have right now because today was such a beautiful day. Just an awesome day. I mean, of course, I'm going to complain about it anyway because, my God, it could have been the day of all days. What a reversal. But again, wait, hang on, let me just move this. Oh, whoa now.
You see, the point I'm going to make is that I don't know shit. But what I do know is that when the market reversed, I started to sell and short stuff.
Now, and what I say. Now, either the video that I made, as somebody sent an email to me and they wanted to know if I was kidding around about market crash 3 days from now. And he said, so is that Wednesday you're predicting the market crash? And I was like, no, I'm seeing some signs that there might be a pullback, but the word crash has been taken out of the vernacular as far as I'm concerned. The days of the market going down 20%, so the real definition of a crash, and again, I hope this video holds up, is 20% in a day, right? Crash. That means you're getting slaughtered that day. This is a typical bull market pullback. Fantastic. Now, people want to know, what are you going to do now? What's happening now? What are you going to do now? What about this? What about that? Are you still bullish? I'll tell you what's happening right now. First of all, I mean, there's so many points I want to get to, and let's give it up for Joe, just Joe. We almost called the lows on the UVXY. I was right there with you. As much as the product is going to go to zero, not officially zero, but if you look at a chart on the UVXY, it's down 99.7% since inception. So basically it's at zero. They just keep splitting it and it rolls back over, splitting it and rolls back over. So in theory it will go to zero, but man, was it fun to trade today. Now again, CLDX, let's talk about that. We held that last 100 shares. We wound up leaving 5 points on the table. No way I was hanging on to this for any more pain. Why not just get rid of it? The FEYE. You know, we left 5 points on the table in the last 100 shares. Out. But when I talk about the UVXY and the QQQ, because that's really all what it came down to today. And of course, US Steel. So what are we going to talk about? All right, so first of all, do I make predictions on what's going to happen? You know I'm long-term bullish, so if this is the beginning of a correction, there'll be a point where it's going to be a screaming buy, and we're going to rally. We'll be talking about the summer doldrums, and then how September and October are usually weak. We'll rally then, and then Santa Claus rally. Next thing you know, it'll be 2016. We'll be talking about the new president, blah, blah, blah. Who's getting elected, blah, 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 blah. Run to the end of the year. Next thing you know, I'm still holding on to this Dow 20,000. Possibly still by the end of this year, or if we have to wait, January 17th of 2017 was the prediction. Now, again, none of that matters. All I care about, now, at 10:09 this morning, and I'm going to ask him to unleash his Twitter account, because again, nothing I say matters, right? We'll all just assume that I'm just lying about everything I do. But I'm going to ask permission, because if I showed you my Twitter, it was a private message, at 10:09. I said, get the hell out of the market. This is it. Dump it all. Go short. Why? Mr. Bull. Mr. Market never goes down. Oh, by the way, I'm only kidding. For you guy out there that, not you, Joe, it's not always about you. I'm talking in general to you guy out there that's going to say, I thought the market never goes down. Yeah, you know what I was doing today? Because the market never goes down, and I made a video about that. Also, remember, I was making the market never goes down videos for about 6 years now. So overall, it's been a pretty accurate depiction of the market. But because I made that video, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and I said the market's never going down again, you know what I was doing? I was buying calls all the way down. I was loading up on the QQQ all the way down just because I got to prove a point to you. Do you think that's what we did today? No, not at all. We've been waiting for the VIX to spike. We've been waiting for a reason to sell. And there's still, the VIX was not moving as the NASDAQ was coming in. But let's go back a couple of days. Why did I say this market? Why was I telling the people that matter? And not that I'm saying that some of you lovely people out there on the internet don't matter. It's I direct my angst towards the 7 or 8 left. I mean, I used to love the hate mail I got. The insistent bile sent my way. I read one of them to you. I'm going to read it again because it never gets old. The guy wrote this eloquent letter to me using these beautifully crafted words that obviously he used, and he got a thesaurus and made this email to try to make himself feel more intelligent. And as each email, he devolved into less and less educational talk. And it's just hilarious, the transition of emails that I got. I miss you guys. The hate and the anger sent my way. Getting a little bit off topic here. Wait, let me stop the video to make sure it's still going. Yeah, this computer that I have, if I don't keep stopping the video, the audio often will drop out, and then it'll look like a Chinese video. Ha! You will find me at the Shaolin Temple. You killed my master! Ha! Prepare to die. So, as much as that's fun, and it's fun, sometimes it lines up so incorrectly that it makes it even funnier. Speaking of Chinese movies, I miss those. I mean, I'm a 43-year-old man. They used to show Godzilla movies. One guy said I had way too much time on my hands because I knew every Godzilla. Oh, baby. I mean, that's all I did. We used to watch Kung Fu movies and Godzilla movies on Channel 5 in New York City. That's all we had. But the best part about it, it used to be, they would overdub American voices on the Japanese films or the Chinese films. And it seemed like they only used one guy to do every voice. It was the funniest thing in the world. But my favorite voice was there was always be this sniveling lackey that the evil master would have. Oh, master! Oh, I'm sorry! Oh, Lung Fu has infiltrated the temple! What are you talking about? Ow! And then he would get his ass kicked. Oh, master! No! But then the next guy would start talking and it'd be the same guy. Oh, I see you. I see that you're... Anyway. Where are we? Oh, right. We're talking about woulda, coulda, shouldas, and all that stuff. Now, I'm gonna ask him to put the Twitter feed up. But more importantly, if you were around yesterday, but you weren't. If you were around Monday, you might have been. If you were around Friday, you might have been seeing these signs. Market attempting to break out and then reversing. Not just unable to break out, but closing the day weak. Signs of a top. Signs of a top. Now again, I don't make big predictions. I had a feeling that things might get ugly. Didn't know when, but the simplest thing is
I trade reversals. QQQ UVXY. That's it. I'm not going to make a claim on any other thing because nothing else was done. UVXY, when it went green, we bought it. And we put a stop on it 20 cents below the price. And we held it the entire day. Because we figured if the market's finally going to take a little breather, maybe this piece of garbage product, UVXY, will get back to 1685. So I'll also make a little, I still own it, okay? So as much as it's gone up today, I didn't sell one share. I suggested if somebody bought it today at $14.50 and they wanted to day trade it, at $14.99 I said to lighten up and then look for it to hit $15.50 if this market continues to get hammered. Look to sell some at $15.50 and then hold the rest for a possible move to $16.85. So right there, if you think about it, what I've just done is that I'm sort of making a call. Now I will not own UVXY if it breaks back under 1524 tomorrow, but I am expecting some more volatility and see these are making predictions here that like as if I know what's going to happen tomorrow.
You see the difference between making predictions and acting on what's out there live was that the QQQ closed yesterday weak, so you had that uneasy feeling for the first time in a while. But then today we opened up a little bit higher, and I'm not too sure exactly. I think it was we opened at 108.10. I believe we ticked up 10 cents to 108.20, and then we started to roll over. So what do you think that I did? Where do you think? Did I sell it at 108.20 knowing the market was going to go down? Nope. How about 108.10 when it broke the opening price? That would have been really smart. No. How about 108 when it broke the whole number? No, not even there. But when the QQQ went negative, sold what I had, and I put a short on with a stop at 108.20 because I figured if this is just going to be a typical ass reaming to the shorts, we're going to hit the low of the day and then break out and, screw you again, like the shorts always get. But this time, lo and behold, we just started tanking. And the biotech started taking us down. And the phone's ringing. Not that that's a distraction to anybody. But more importantly was the UVXY trade. It tried to go green. I couldn't understand that this market was hanging in there. The NASDAQ was down about 25, 30 points, and the S&Ps were only down 1 at the time. So somebody said, hey, the NASDAQ's getting killed. How come the VIX isn't moving up? I said, because the VIX is more of an indicator of the S&P 500. And he said, oh. So somebody learned something today. But then finally, the cascade of selling finally hit the the Dow Jones and the S&P, and that's when the VIX obviously started spiking. Now, we got in once. We put a tight stop on it because it stinks so bad that we always lose money, and we wound up losing money on it. But then, once it went back into the green, we tried the same exact trade, the same exact price, put the same exact stop on, and that time it worked. Went quickly to 14.75, and we said, all right, here we go. Let's sell some. Again, I did not sell any, but I suggested if this was a day trade, you might want to sell some at 14.99 and then look for 14.50 and 16.85 tomorrow. Now again, the reason I don't make predictions is because I didn't need to predict what was going to happen today because it all came off the VWAP and the reversal colliding, bada boom, bada bing, you put your stop in, and there you go. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Now, the other trade we did the other day was that we bought the USO. Why? Why the hell would we step up? Wait, you think I'm some sort of kind of genius? I know the oil levels and I'm doing my due diligence with the rig count and I got my binoculars looking at the the oil tankers out there, because this is what people do in the oil trading industry. Rig counts, you know, they got lookouts to see how many ships are being sent out to see the production. Man, all I cared about was the USO hit a spot. What was it, 1585? Went green, pulled back, and never went red again, indicating possible short-term bottom. So what did we do? We bought it, 1620. Put a stop on at the whole number and at the all-time low, whatever that was. And we got a pop. And I will tell you, today, when it was up at 17, we almost got stopped out. I think it was 1683. We put our stop in right below, I believe it either was the VWAP or it was just about to go negative, but it never did, and we actually are still in it. So, if you're following along, we don't own the CLDX anymore, so if it gets taken over tomorrow, I will be pissed. But I will not make a video saying, hey, how about that CLDX? Didn't I tell you? Blah, blah, blah. I'm out of the CLDX. We did very well with it. We bought it at 15, sold most of it over 30, and sold the rest today at the open. FEYE. Ah, yeah. Did all right with that one also. Got in after the earnings report. Was up in the high mid-40s, right? I only had that last lot left, 100 shares. Wound up missing out on the last 5 or 6 points. Wound up selling it today at the open. Then we got MVIS, which so far has been an awesome sell. Sold. I still got a little bit left of that because, you know, these $3 stocks, they don't really care too much about the market going down. They're in their own little world. But it really was the UVXY and me saying how awful it is, and there I was 3 days later buying it. That just goes to show you, I don't care what stock it is. If it fits the criteria, we're getting involved. Now, let's talk about the shitty ass trades. Alcoa, once again. I buy an Alcoa. Options, they were up. You know, you buy an option for 26 cents. It's at 32. Percentage-wise, it's pretty good. But you're not looking at it like that. I'm looking at, all right, let's get this bad boy up to, you know, let's get $1 out of this thing. Failed again. So now I own Alcoa. If you want to know, this is a trade that I'm in right now. Let me get the quote for you. Before we get all uppity. Whoop, bang, bang. Live television here. Just give me a moment. I got a splitting headache. These would be the April 10th. 17 days from now they expire. Alcoa reports on the 8th. So we are hoping, anticipating that this stock can make a run towards the number. But then again, I don't care, because what I think is happening here, and I like the idea, and I'm going to tell you why I like it. Down 3 cents on some, down 6 cents on some. Not a great position right now. But again, we're not getting killed on it. Here's the thing. Here's a guy. April 10th expiration on Alcoa. Alcoa is set up now. Alcoa is set up now to not only beat, but to surprise. Because Alcoa, my friends, it's not just an aluminum company anymore. They're making all kinds of stuff. The transition of Alcoa into a bigger conglomerate juggernaut is the reason we got involved in Alcoa in the first place at $10. Now I understand it had a great run and then hit a brick wall. And if you bought it at 17 on Greg Maniniero's call, and you don't believe me that we took Greg's buy signal on Alcoa as a good time to be selling out of it. But more importantly, it coincided last October when Alcoa reported a super duper number, and yet the stock went negative that day. This guy doesn't hold stocks that go negative on earnings report. This guy doesn't want to even hint. Stock goes negative on a positive earnings report and the gap gets faded, I become a bear. And as much as I've been bearish on Alcoa, I have now begun to think this is the level where to get back in again. So here's the thing. We're buying these options, right? Now that finally there's some analysts came out, and that's what made me like it even more yesterday. I read there's just a couple of analysts downgrading Alcoa. Could see my brain, what's left of it. Now that the analysts are puking the Alcoa up, you got to get in. Where were they at 17? How come they didn't want to cut their targets then? Oh, because the stock was going up. We ain't going to get near. How about at 16.50? How about 16? How about at 15.85 when that didn't hold? How about 15? How about 14? How about 14? How about 13.50? No. When it breaks 13, that's when the downgrades start coming out. 4 points in a $17 stock, that's a pretty big move already. Good to be downgrading it now. We come in now. What's the worst you're going to lose? The options at 22 cents. So now what's good is that we got the analysts saying that the company stinks again. They're cutting price targets. The market's going down. Ooh, what a setup. So now if they blow numbers away and they say, hey guys, we're not just an aluminum company, bitches. Take a look at this shit that we did. Bang! All this stock needs to do is get, 14 bucks. And at this point, if it closes at 14 that day, let's say they're 50 cents, you paid 20, not a bad return. Now again, speculating on options into earnings reports is a losing game. So that's what this is. This is speculation at its best. I know nothing. This is a gamble on an educated gamble. This is not my specialty. This is not what I really do. I trade reversals and VWAP intraday. I short the Qs when they break yesterday's close. I buy the VIX when it goes green. That's what I do. Speculating on what Alcoa is going to do after they report their earnings, as much as what I might have said sounds really intelligent to you, with the turnaround of the company and the chances of the stock surprising to the upside now, and because the stock is sold off, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? But yet, if you really think about it, I know nothing. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know if they're going to report good numbers. I have no clue how their new operations are doing. I'm not an insider of the company. I have absolutely no idea of how the stock will respond after they report. So, all that being said, you're risking 20 cents. Best thing is if they report and the stock gaps up and starts to roll over, not only do you sell your options, you short the stock, and maybe we do it all over again. So that's that. I don't know. Is that enough? I don't know.
What about your Qs to 143 now, tough guy?
I didn't say they were going to 143 on Friday. I said they're going to 143. Write this one down. Because when it's there, you're going to be like, oh shit, all that shit that douchebag on the internet was talking about turned out to be pretty damn accurate. And whether or not I'm wrong or right, really ain't going to matter either, but where's the date? I got a date for you. Hold on a second. Let's see. Options expiration. First options expiration. Okay. January 20th, 2017. The Qs will be 143. So there's a lot of time. I could be right, I could be wrong. It could be right. Yeah. I spent a lot of time in this video hemming and hawing. Sorry about that. I got a splitting headache. My synapses are not clicking as much as they usually would be. Plus, I'm not enraged. The best videos are when I'm enraged. Somebody thinks I make the best videos when I'm making money. Oh, no. No. Best videos is when I'm enraged about being short the market and it going up in my face or something else. Right now, I got a call. We want to hear a range of emotions. I got a call from the school today. Yes, this is the school psychologist. My immediate thought is that one of my kids had a psychotic break and is running around the school, acting out Black Ops and Call of Duty, and I got to come and talk him down off the ledge or something. She shouldn't have started by saying, "Hello, this is the school psychologist." She should have said, "Hey, I've got some good news. This is the school psychologist." So anyway, my son is in an organization in the school, and he gave a speech today. And she was so amazed at his maturity and articulation that she was moved to call me to tell me how good of a parent that I am. And my wife. Of course, I gave all the credit to my wife because I'm just a raging lunatic, right? Somewhere in there, the boy's doing something right. And all these videos on YouTube, stock trading, and everything else, sword play, all the doomsday fun times we had, and all the crazy videos I meant to have done, they don't mean shit. That phone call is what matters. Articulation, maturity for his age. Wish I had more kids like your son. There's no money that's gonna make me feel as good as that phone call. So all you guys out there thinking you could get under my skin, come on. You got nothing on me. You can't say anything. Call me ugly, I got a big schnoz, grow some hair, you bald prick, you're not funny, you're a loser, we don't believe you. I just got one thing to say to everybody out there that's ever thrown any sort of bile my way.
Yes!
You handled that so professionally.
Yes!